Hello, hello, hi, folks. Welcome. Happy Saturday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. Welcome. Good to see you. I thought I'd spice it up with a different kind of headwear, if you would, you know. And sorry it's a little late, but got stuff to do. You feel me? Saturdays are a little strange for me, but I got things done actually early, but in order to do other stuff. So, anyway, long story longer. Let me get into the topic for tonight. Um, so, you know, I was listening to something today, and it was really interesting. It talked about three things to consider when you want to refriend somebody. If you're joining me live, let me know you're here. I'd love to know who's here, who's not here. I see somebody join me. I won't ever know if you're here or not unless you comment or throw some love, hate, something. But I came across something that was really cool, right? So three things. Um, well, I guess it would be more like these three categories of people you don't want to refriend. That's more like it, actually, right? But before I get into that, I want to share this thought with you. Um, I've done a live about, I want to say 2 lives about a snake, maybe 3. I'm starting to forget because there've been a few lives, but I think I've done 2 or 3 total lives on snake. But this one I haven't shared with you. There's you guys know that snake reskins itself, right? And the only, well, not the only, one of the major reasons why a snake reskins itself is because it wants to be a bigger snake. Okay. So it changes its skin just to be a bigger snake. Okay. Now, let's take that into friendship. From snake to friendship. Let's take that to friendship. You know, I'll share this before I get into the 3. I'll share with you a couple other thoughts. You know, you hear so many things about, oh, a true friend is this, a true friend is that. But one thing I gotta tell you is somebody who, if you became successful, they no longer want to be your friend, or they no longer consider themselves your friend or consider you their friend once you become successful. If that's the case between the two, that's really not a friend, right? How would you consider that a friend? A friend would be happy to see you successful, unless you become a jerk. You know what I mean? If you become a jerk and you feel like you've arrived and you're like on top of the world and you're this and that, well, then if you're the jerk, then that's a whole different ballgame. But a true friend would be excited for you, right? Excited for you, cheer you on. In fact, we've talked about this so many times. A true friend would be happy and excited for you, for your success, right? The same goes with a family member, if you would. A family member, if once you become successful and they feel like, they talk behind your back and they point their fingers at you and all this stuff, then, how close were you really in the beginning, if you would, right? So consider that like when you have the people around you, will they be around you once you become successful? Not if. Once you actually become successful, will they still be around you the same way? if the answer to that is yes, then that, they are keepers. You know, you want to keep them. But if that's not the case, then you know you may want to reevaluate some relationships, right? But let's get into the three categories, if you would, of people you don't want to refriend, right? If there's a person that messes with your character, you know, let's say they talk about you behind your back, they spread rumors about you, they talk crap about you all the time, they put you down, and they block you from progressing, right? They're just, right? If somebody attacks your character, why would you want to refriend them? Why would you want to reintroduce them into your life, right? You wouldn't want that. I mean, I wouldn't recommend that. Somebody who attacks your character. You know, I've talked about this multiple times in my other lives, and I talk about this in our stuttering groups a lot. And one of the things that, well, the main thing that I coach around, or I talk around, or I help people around, is that if you stutter, you're not a stutterer, right? You're, the moment you identify with it, it's over, right? So the same, that's like attacking you, right? You are a stutterer. That's like attacking your character. So the same way, if you kind of take that out and just kind of bring it out into, I don't know if you call it the real world, that is the real world, but if you apply it to other areas, right, it's the same thing. If somebody's spreading rumors about you, talking crap about you, and they're attacking your character, you don't want that person as, you don't want that as a person as a friend, let alone refriend that person. That's one. Two, what if somebody attacks your relationship? Maybe somebody attacks your relationship with your parents. Maybe somebody attacks your relationship with your creator. Maybe somebody attacks your relationship with your significant other, your spouse, husband, wife. Maybe they interrupt that relationship in a negative way. First, why would you want that as a friend, let alone refriend them? Like, why would you want that? Please don't do that. Somebody who attacks your different categories of your relationship, like I said, God, creator, mom, dad, brother, sister, uncle, aunt, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, if they ruin that relationship, if they are attacking those relationships, that's no bueno. That's not. And the third category, I guess you wouldn't even want this person as a, these people, you wouldn't want these people as a friend. Why would you want to refriend them? But the third category is somebody that attacks your money. Imagine that. If they, you go out with them and you always got to spend money on them. You always got to buy. They always forget. Well, these days you can't forget stuff because you just on your phone. But, you know, they always dependent on you. Or maybe you did business with them and they took you down and they, you know, that's my story, right? Maybe you have somebody like that that has attacked your finances in a negative way. Why would you want that as a friend? Somebody who attacks your finances in a negative way, even if they're, well, I've come across this before when I've done loans, and where husbands or wives, you know, one is just a super spender and the other one is, you know, they just blow money like there's no tomorrow, and the other one is just, you know. So I don't know where you draw the line, but that's up to you. But somebody who attacks your finances, your money, that's not a team player in a way, right? Now, again, depending on, I guess, what stage of game you are in, it makes a big difference. You know, if it's a business partner and, you know, they take you down and they just, you know, why would you want to refriend that person? You can forgive, but move on. You know, you don't have to have that person in your life again. So remember, a snake only skins itself to get bigger. Think about that. A skin, a snake, a skin. A snake reskins itself to become a bigger snake. So if you're refriending somebody who's already been a snake to you, they're not gonna aim to be a smaller snake. I can tell you that much. And if they sting you, well, this time you can't say, well, you know, you can't blame everything else on everybody else. You brought them back in, or you brought snake back in, right? So be careful. Somebody who attacks your character, somebody who attacks your relationships, somebody who attacks your finances, you listen to me. You don't want that person or those people in your life. I highly recommend you reevaluate those relationships. Hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value from this live. I appreciate you guys. Drop your thoughts, your comments, your feedback below. Let this feed grow. And if you feel like this was worthy of sharing, do what you gotta do. Spread the love. Tag a couple people, share it on your wall, you know. And until tomorrow, when we do it all over again. Much love.